Overnight, we got this report out of the South China Morning Post in Hong Kong saying U.S. and China tentatively agreed to trade war truce, sparking some optimism. But then the Wall Street Journal says China wants to include lifting the Huawei ban, sort of denting that optimism. It's so hard to follow all the speculation and reports. Where are your expectations right now?
I think you're going to have this kind of bouncing around until Saturday when they actually get together. The difficulty is the Wall Street Journal report that China has set out conditions, not only the Huawei thing, which is a little bit of a problem, but they also want the current tariffs removed, from what I understand. And that's a bit more of a problem. The president has said he wants to keep the tariffs in so that he can exercise some discipline on the Chinese. So I think it's going to be bumpier. We'll wait to hear when the president finishes his business dinner with the Australians. I'm sure he'll be on Twitter, and we'll get to find a little bit more about it.
You made the point, Art, that there might not be as much of an incentive to rush to any kind of a truce here if, in fact, the administration wants to see the Fed get pretty aggressive. I mean, are we just going to be on hold for a while on the trade front, you think?
Well, it's, again, what does the president believe the Fed will do? If he thinks they're going to cut twice in the next couple of months, he's going to think that he can be a little bit tougher with China because he's got the Fed at his back, so his economy will, in all likelihood, remain so much stronger. If he didn't have the Fed behind him, he'd have to worry about the global trade and what would be the effect on the economy. So, perversely, for all the nose-to-nose between him and Powell, it turns out he may have an ally in the trade talks, and we'll see where we go from there. But I think it's going to be a bumpy couple of days. We talked very early in the week about the post-expiration week being a consolidation. I think we've been seeing that, and I think it will continue. I think you would have had a better bump this morning, but Boeing is getting killed, and that's taken an awful lot out of the Dow Jones.
So, Art, which group are you watching as the sort of market litmus test at this moment?
I would keep an eye on the semiconductors. They bounced after the Micron report yesterday. They're going to be deeply involved in a lot of these trade talks. So I think the semis would be something I'll be watching.
Talking about people kind of looking ahead tomorrow to the Russell Index rebalancing annual event, happens all the time. Aside from just surging volumes on an absolute basis, is there anything to look for in terms of individual moves or rebalancing effects?
No, I would watch. It's going to have an impact. We've had these small caps trailing the market recently, and I want to see what the influence of the rebalancing is pretty much on the small caps as a whole, and whether that will deepen the disparity between the multinationals and the small caps.